Hi guys, hope you are enjoying the series and you have read the first and the second part, and now we are having the third part and doing the third RC of the RC 99. Now subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. So here is the RC in front of you. If you want to give it a read, you can pause it and play it back. So I will show you the next portion and the questions first. So here we have the questions. Just a second. So here we are seeing the questions. The next part, if you want to give it a read, pause it and play it back. And let's see the questions first. This one, and we have the fourth question here, right? Yeah. So let's start the discussion. So basically, what is this passage talking about? Then we will do the question. Well, the passage is actually talking about media, the negative effects of the media. Passage is talking about how the media leaks information, and that is negative. So the negative effects of the media leak on information, especially what kind of information? Discussion of the policies that are not yet formed but that are being discussed. So some media personals, they are listening to it, they are leaking it, and particularly this passage is talking about policy discussion regarding the foreign affairs. So the foreign affairs are getting leaked, and it highlights how the media's distrust on government combined with the media's tendency to publish those information, those government secrets, and that damages the ability to conduct effective policy discussion. Well, author here also mentions in this paragraph that leaks have contributed to public skepticism now. Like the public also doesn't believe about the media now, and author also says that the media should be held accountable for their activities. So public is this is coming from author's opinion. So definitely this is the gist of the RC. Now let's see the four questions that we have following it. Question number 1 says, based on the information in the passage, with which of the following statement would the author most likely agree? Now you have to choose the statement which is not there in the passage, but its proof is there in the passage. And which portion of the passage? Where whatever was said by an author of the RC. Now you will say, how do I know it? Well, if no source is mentioned, or if that is not the news, so that is definitely the author's opinion. Well, A option says feeding the public misinformation is warranted in certain situation. So feeding misinformation is warranted in certain situation. Is this what the passage talking about? No. Feeding information or misinformation, passage is not saying that they are feeding misinformation. The passage is only saying that the journalists, they are leaking the government secrets. That is wrong. So are they leaking misinformation? Passage didn't say that. So author has not talked about it directly. So A is not having any kind of proof by author's statement in this RC. Option B says the public has a right to know the real state of foreign affairs. Can we have this statements back up in the RC? Yes, why not? Because the author said that the people are not believing in the media reports nowadays, because many of the time they don't believe on it, right? So public is also becoming skeptical. So because they don't feel that they don't believe that the information is true or false as per the author, as per the RC. So if we say that the public has the right to know the real state of foreign affairs, B makes sense. B makes sense with author's point of view. So will B be the answer? For that we have to check the other options first. Option number C. The fewer the number of people involved in political discussion, the better. Well, number of people involved was not the criteria in the RC. So we cannot choose C. We do not have any proof for C that if there will be fewer people to discuss policy, it will be good. No, this is absolutely not discussed in the RC. There can be an entire panel or one person or 5% or 10 people. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is not discussed in the RC. Ignore that. D says, leaders give up their right to privacy when they are elected during election, but the passage is not about election. Passage is about policy making, foreign affairs policy making. So it's not D. It's very wrong option, alien option. E says the media is not accountable to the public. Well, see, of course, the last line of the RC, the last few lines of the RC or the last paragraph was saying that media must be more accountable to the public. But it does not mean that media is absolutely not accountable. Media is accountable. Understand, try to understand when a person says media should be accountable to the public, it doesn't mean that 100% of the media is not accountable. E means the same, that media is not accountable to the public 100%. E gives the same feeling that 100% media is not accountable. So if we choose E, it will not help the author. Author will not agree to it. Author said this now. Author will say no, I didn't mean that. I only mean to say that more accountability is required. There is some level of accountability. So you see, there is the catch. We cannot go with E because E will not support the author. Author will not support E. Yeah. So it is B. Emotional intelligence comes into play when we solve an RC, guys. Always remember. So be very, very careful and vigilant with what you are solving. Don't be robot. Don't have a robotic mind that this was written, so this will be the answer. No. So understand it and then, right, you will never go wrong. Understanding, right? Okay, next question. Implicit in the author's argument. So it means it should be relating to the author's argument. Okay. That leaks result in far more limited and unreliable policy discussion with foreign leaders is the idea that. So here once again leaks result in far more limited and unreliable policy. So we have to find an option which is implicit with the author's argument. Once again, it means an option that will help to complete the sentence. And what is the idea regarding foreign leaders? What is the idea regarding policy discussion? Author said. Choose that option, exactly what the author said in this RC. That will be your answer. Yeah, definitely. Never say anything new if it doesn't have any kind of if it is not written in this RC, never say that, never choose that option. Okay, coming back to the question. A says leaks should be considered breach of trust and therefore immortal. Guys, breach of trust thing, we do not have any proof. Author doesn't said it this way. We cannot go with A like this. Let's put A on hold, but it's most likely to be wrong option. Let's check B. Leaks have occurred throughout the history of politics. Well, we cannot say this once again. This was not said that throughout the history leaks happened. So this is like giving a tag that this always happened. It doesn't, it cannot, we can never say that this happened throughout the history, means this always happened. So always B looks like in 100% of the cases this has happened, but we have no proof, no concrete proof to support B. So never support a rigid statement that could go against what someone says. C says foreign and US leaders discussed policy without inhibition before the rise of mass media. So before mass media, the foreign policies were discussed without any kind of inhibition. Yeah, the passage also said now that the leaders, they don't feel free in front of the media to discuss the foreign policy. So before the mass media come in, they were free. They were free to discuss it. At least C has a sense. C has some logic. So there is nothing to contradict C as of now. We can put C on hold. Well, so C can be the answer also. Let's check D and E, then we will decide finally. D says leaders fear the public would react negatively. They do not fear the public reaction. They fear that media will leak the information. So D is a wrong option. We cannot go with D. E says it is best to keep the media in the dark, means don't tell anything to the media or something like that. This was not said by the author in the passage. Never choose an option which was not touched or discussed. So we can have indirect proof of C, because it was written that in front of the mass media the leaders are hesitant to discuss foreign policy. So C has a better idea. C will support the author's argument implicitly in a better way. Now, third question, what is the main idea of the passage? Choose that option which tries to represent the entire passage. So, option number A says to argue that media is acting against the national interest. No, this was not mentioned in this that they were against national interest. Saying A is a very wrong option. It was not there in this RC. B says to convince that journalists are attempting to enhance their own prestige. Was this passage about this, that journalists want to enhance their prestige, journalists want to enhance? No, the topic was very different. This was just a small line somewhere in the passage that is not even in fact important. So B has nothing to do with this RC, because RC was not about this. C says to discuss the negative effects that media leaks have on foreign policy and mass media credibility. So there are negative effects now because the media leak now. What information? Foreign policy information is leaking, and people are doubting media's credibility. No. So isn't these four, 5 words that I underlined is representing the entire story of the passage? Yes. So C is definitely the right answer because it's representing everything correctly. Well, what about D and E? D says criticize politicians. Was any criticism to the politician there? No. E suggests that media needs to be regulated. Media needs to be regulated. Author didn't say that they need to be regulated. Author said that they should be more, what was the word? They should be more trustworthy or accountable. So it doesn't mean that law is required. So regulation stuff, author didn't said that. So answer is C, because C completes the main idea. C covers the main idea exactly in the way it is written in the passage. RC. Okay, question 4, based on the passage, when the media now challenge the action of a public official, public assumes. So when a public official is challenged, what does the public do? The only one thing about the public in this passage is they don't trust the media. Isn't this the answer? Find out where it is written. That's your answer. Simple. A says official is always wrong. Will the public understand this? No, they will not understand this according to the passage we are talking. Media is always wrong. Guys, B can be the answer, but there is a problem, always wrong. The word always means 100% wrong. Guys, it can be 95%, 98%, but it can never be 100%. So going with B is going to be an extreme option. We cannot go with an extreme option in these kind of questions. Let's see if we have a better option, because B is an extreme option. Generally we cannot go with an extreme option. Cut B. B is not the answer that way. C says media may be wrong. May be wrong is on the lighter side of the extreme. This is an extreme strong opinion, and this is an extreme light opinion. Now we may go with C, but if we have a better option now, we are definitely going to go to the better option. Well, D says official and the media may both be wrong. Wow. Now This option is a better one, that official might be wrong, media might be wrong. So this is a better option for the public, because the public do not trust the news. So public says that I think the news is fake, or maybe the official is fake. Public is confused now. As per the passage I am talking, public is confused. So if public is confused, then D is a better option than C. Now, because the passage says that media's credibility is challenged, and Americans have concluded that media has no more credit, more credible than the government, no more credible than the government. So media is also not credible. Government might not be credible as per the passage also. If we twist the words, we get this. Okay. Now the next one is so as of now D can be a better option if we compare it with C. What E says, public ignores. They won't ignore. They will not ignore the information. Something they will presume. The question is asking what the public will assume or presume, or what the public will think. So they will think something. They will not ignore. Thinking means concluding something. Concluding doesn't mean ignore. So E doesn't make sense. So option is D. If you liked the RC, the explanation, so in this RC I didn't give a walkthrough of the entire passage, but we directly delved into the passage. If you think the style is right, and if you want me to continue the upcoming RCs in the same way, then most welcome. If you want the passage to be explained, so I can explain it and I can solve it. It all just depends on how you want it. So please comment and tell me that you want the passage explanation line by line, then the question explanation, or you only want a small summary of the paragraph, because you are also giving it a reading and then doing the questions. Whatever it is, do let me know. I will be happy to help. And don't worry, I'm here, and I'm going to help you with your exam preparation in the best possible way, with the best possible study material. Next few RCs coming soon. Thank you.